All right, here we go. It's Fairfield County Live and Local. We're presented by the Sono Collection. My name is John Kamal, 95.9 The Fox. To my right, to my left, to my whatever. That's the mad scientist himself, Isaac Young. And that's Jim Lamey? Lim Jam? Am I
J-E. Oh no, it says Jamie. Oh, god damn. It's like spell check for you. It's like my phone trying to be smarter than me.
No, you know what, man? It's a happy accident. Rob, hold on though. How do I say your last name?
Mador.
Damn it. All right, cool. So I interviewed Matt McNulty like a couple of months ago, and he said your name, and I think I left it in the podcast. We got into it for a second. I was like, "Nah, dude, it's Mador." And he's like, "No," and I was like, "I think I'm right, but I was wrong." Yeah. All right, so it's Rob Mador and Isaac Young saying your name wrong for the entire time I've known you.
And my actual name is Wang. Like
right.
It's like really make everybody uncomfortable tonight.
You have to. That's the goal. And speaking of making people uncomfortable, usually I sing StreamYard's praises because StreamYard is, generally speaking, a fantastic way of streaming to different live things. But right now they're screwing up, and I'm going to be sharing this link as we go. So if you're watching now, thank you for finding it. And if you're not watching yet, you soon will be. I don't know if that made sense, but we're going to go with it. So yeah, it's PX3. Welcome back, fellas.
Hello. Thank you so much for having us, man. Absolutely. I'm just sharing this right now. That's why I'm not looking at you. I'm sharing.
No, I know. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing too. I'm just like I'm saying all the filler words that I have in my. Oh no! Hold on. There we go.
All right, cool. It has been successfully shared.
I think I shared mine too.
Oh, that's so good.
Check if it went through, but
that's so good. Hey, those 5 people watching right now, don't stop watching. This is going to get interesting so soon, and it's going to be so interesting. So you have to stay on this page because then I'm going to focus.
Oh yeah.
So all right, PX3, you guys have new music out right now. You guys have an entire album, like the whole thing, and it's your last show before COVID, correct?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. Well, yeah, it was because we were supposed to go to Vermont like the following weekend, and then
it was like a month after. We did a date with No Mind, like right.
Oh yeah, that's right. Right in Syracuse, right before that actually was our last one with No Mind. We went to Syracuse.
But this was like the last PX3 one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I should add too, especially like for people who are just tuning in right now, it's PX3. But also you guys are in a phenomenal band called No Mind, and No Mind has has a new tune out right now, which we're gonna play after we play the 3 in a row with you guys. That's gonna be coming up at the top of the hour. I'm using all this radio lingo. Coming up at the top of the hour at 9 p.m. At 9 o'clock, we're going to hear 3 songs in a row from PX3, and then you're also going to get a bonus tune from their equally fantastic band, No Mind, as well. But okay, cool. So let's get into it. So you guys just had a show get canceled in Norwich. That happened like what? Just a couple days ago, right?
Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Friday's show. I mean, Saturday's show then.
Yeah.
So
No, well, we also have another one coming up next Saturday as well. But this one was canceled yesterday. Yeah.
So what happened?
Just the overgrown, like Norwich County, I guess as a whole, has had an increase of cases, and it just didn't seem right. And amongst the town to recommend, it was the right decision.
Yeah, it was advised for us to just not go forward there for the safety of everyone at Brick and Basil and our fans and my family, Rob's, everyone's family. So it's not a decision that obviously we want to make, right? But we're glad we did. It's a bummer. It's one of these things where we went, you go into this landscape of gigging in this situation, and you kind of have to accept that's what a 50-50 shot right now. If something's going to happen,
and you can't even be mad about it, really. It's
no, because we're making the decision in the best interest of everybody. So it's we're bummed because we were really excited to play. I was so excited to play, but it's luckily we have next week. I'm really thankful for that. It wasn't the last show of the year, so we got one more. Yeah.
Well, and Rob, like you said, like you can't be mad at it. And I gotta admit, like I was impressed reading your posts about it. Like none of you seemed at all butthurt. Like, and we're just like, no, it's it's what we have to do. Blah blah blah. The whole responsibility thing, which is important. But like in the heat of the moment, I could also see being like, and none of you guys handled it that way. So that was professional. That was cool. I honestly, I did clock that, and I was like, these guys, that's a classy way to handle it.
Thanks, man. That's what it's all about. Like,
yep.
Yeah, dude.
People's safety is important. So,
right. But like you have been getting out and playing a little bit. You've got the show coming up on the 10th. And have you guys had a show since COVID started? I feel like
we had one show at this private event that was a remarkable experience. That was like our first time playing since February.
Nice.
And I mean, I can assume, Rob, and you can correct me, but like that was just way too much fun. That was just like we needed that. My spirit needed to have that afternoon, and it was a remarkable experience to watch everyone else collectively need that too. Like just everyone's craving it, and it was such a beautiful thing. We're on this cow farm, right? Like there were cows.
Yeah, it was in I won't disclose the location because it's my friend's house, and just to respect him, but it's like a group of my friends, like we were all socially distanced, and it was all people that hang out with each other through all of this, and they're all like my best friends, and they're kind of strangers. They knew who Isaac was, but they didn't know him. So like I kind of had to convince him, like, this is going to be an awesome time. He's like, yeah, I just want to play, man. And like, these people are going to really dig it. And it was just phenomenal. Like a friend of mine, Kurt Casso, built a stage there, and they did their own thing. So there was a stage, and my friend's neighbor gave him an easy up. So we had the whole setup, and it was just amazing. Like,
yeah. And we actually recorded our next live record at that show.
Did you really?
But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. That was we listened back to a very rough mix because Cody recorded all of it, which is great. Like he did Stargazer as well, and Left Hand, which is great.
Cody's having a little bit of fun with us in the comments right now.
Technologying, it can be pretty hard. That's why we have Cody to do it for us.
He must have been there for that first 5 minutes when I was struggling to share this thing everywhere. But yeah, man. I mean, Isaac, you said it, dude. Like it's like people need it. Like obviously, you guys need it, but the audience needs it too. People watching, people who are just there in the room. And it's funny. I had an experience like that at the beginning of September. Both of my old bands played a show together at the Acoustic, which we were all so afraid was going to close down for a while. So that was just cathartic in and of itself. But like playing that show was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. I'm not sure that we sounded particularly great. I'm sure it wasn't my best show ever, but like just getting back up there. But I had this thought afterward where I thought, okay, now I've played a show. I still haven't gone and seen a show though. Like I really want to go see one. Like both aspects are just as important.
I feel like super hard. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. And it's funny because like just even like listening to Goose now, like I've been just jamming them out a lot recently. And like just like listening to the audio from their live shows, like probably from like last winter, fall area, like I'm just like, God, man, I wish I could see this right now. And luckily, like we've been able to play, but yeah, it's totally different, like being in the audience and just experiencing live music. Like
I was having that same kind of experience with Goose too, because they came out with that live album right when COVID started. So that album especially that first weird month was like my COVID soundtrack. It was on in my house all the time. So just seeing them up there, seeing all of these bands just start to get back out. The itch is it's stronger than ever, dude.
Yeah, for real.
What do you guys think about you know what speaking of Goose and that string of shows that they've been doing, what do you think about, have you been to or know anyone who's played a drive-in concert yet? Because I had Doughy Joey on the show 2 weeks ago, and he said it was awesome. He said it was like that they're going to stick around even after COVID is gone.
Yeah, we were supposed to play Roll On In, the one in Western Mass that unfortunately is not been closed down once, but like, geez, I don't know, 4 times now.
Can't even count now.
Wow.
And it's too bad because from everything we heard, they were doing a great job. You know, they were kicking it like to the best possibility. It was, you know, it was really good for Ricky.
Ricky,
That's like one of my best friends. You know him.
I
too.
love Ricky. Ricky, I miss you, man. I miss you, man. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there.
No worries. But yeah, I mean, I have not been, but from what I've heard, it's a great experience. Like, it's different, right? You know, it's not the same, you know, element of like that shared energy when you're all crammed against the rail, but it's, you know, it's something, right?
Yeah.
And it's cool because everyone, like I said, I think that enthusiasm is much more tangible. Not that it wasn't tangible at other live music experiences, but because it's so few and far between, it's like a really, truly a treat. There's like this incredible, contagious, excited energy from an audience that, like, that's what we've been told. So like, even though you're like hundreds of yards away from the stage, right?
Yeah.
On like the last row, you're still like, you're there, you know?
Right. The radio thing is the part that kind of messes me. It's a weird thing for me to say.
Especially
like, you know,
with the drums too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, I don't know. It seems weird. I mean, I'm sure, like, you know, because the Disco Biscuits are doing something similar, I guess, or maybe they already did. And like, I don't know. I'm a huge Biscuits fan, and I was just like, I wonder what that would be like with the electronic drums and everything involved with that. It must be, I don't know. Like,
I mean, the mix has to be so precise. It's got to be a nightmare to set one of those shows up. I don't know. I honestly don't know anything about sound mixing outside of the basics, but it's got to be nuts.
That's why we have Cody Urban with us.
That's why we've got Cody doing the technologying, doing the technologying for us. Thank you, Cody. Thank you to all the sound engineers out there. And you know what? Oh God, and this is sad, but I gotta bring it up. Speaking of sound engineers, you guys did, rather I should say, No Mind did the thing for Mango at PST. Man, how did that go? That was beautiful, dude. That was great. You guys were able to do that.
That was a great experience. I mean, I'm glad that we got a chance to perform. I wish it was for a better, like, you know, a happier circumstance. But Mango, I mean, I've known Mango for, I don't know, God, ever since I moved down to Connecticut. He was one of the first like venue people, like, who runs and does booking and stuff, that like saw potential and ushered me into Bryac. So he kind of like mentored me through the Fairfield County area, like the Black Rock music scene is really cool. So like getting a chance to play in honor of him, I mean, that was really special. It's weird playing to cameras with tangible audience.
Yeah.
Like,
it feels like
cool.
a rehearsal.
It does. It feels like a rehearsal, just with like a really great light director, Matt Agresta, making us look really good. But it was, I mean, it was powerful. It was the right thing to do. Like, we knew we had to do that for him and his family. And we did raise a good amount of money for them too, which was like, people are so generous and it's great. And then obviously they did the thing at the Wall Street Theater. Is that what they did?
Yeah.
That was unreal. That was so cool, man.
Crazy
6 some odd hours of
stage,
music.
Man.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, it was good though. I mean, I had a lot of fun.
That needs to be a live album. That needs to be like a compilation album or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Rest in peace, rest in power. I didn't know Joe really well at all, but you know, just a few times I played at Bryac, just an incredible guy and just obviously such a huge presence on the scene. It was cool to see you guys out there being able to do something for him. All right, so tonight, and for people who are just tuning in, it's Fairfield County Live and Local, presented by the Sono Collection. I'm talking to PX3. And we've got 3 songs of yours off this new upcoming album, Stargazer, which I'm sorry, not upcoming. Things out right now. You can find Stargazer. It's out. It's out on iTunes, Spotify. Look it up, buy it, stream it, do all that fun stuff. But I wanted to ask you, so the 3 songs we're going to play, and it's in this order, and this is happening at 9 o'clock on 95.9 The Fox, is Spacemen, Anachronistic, and Alchemy. Now, for people unfamiliar with you, you guys are a completely improvisational band. So every single, song that you're going to hear was written and conceived, or rather, it wasn't written. It was just played as it was being conceived right there in real time at the moment. My question is, where do you get the names?
So finally,
actually, first though, can I just say, is Spacemen a 30 Rock reference?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Dr. Leo Spacemen, man.
You.
Absolutely.
And now, you know what? We have beef now because when you guys released that song, I put a GIF of Leo Spacemen in there, and I think I wrote Dr. Spaceman in all caps, and I didn't even get a like. What's up with that?
Oh,
What's
I
up with that?
remember seeing that.
I should have. I thought I clicked it. Well, I'll retroactively go back and find it. I'll
thank you.
That link.
Yeah, these days, like with my social media posting, like I just don't even kind of react to a lot of things. Don't take.
Oh,
it
dude,
personally. But
you're on fire. Just keep generating content, please,
Yeah.
all the time. Just please keep doing that.
I'll do that.
Follow Rob Medor on literally every single social media outlet that you can. It's a very worthy follow. But sorry, back to my original question.
Yes.
Where do you get the names? It's all improv. So where do the names come from?
Well, we can reveal the secret, right,
Ooh.
Rob? Can we reveal the secret?
Yeah. Let's do
Okay,
it.
so for anyone who has seen, this is what the 3rd record we have out, right? We had Metaphysic, then Left Hand, and then this. The singles are from Stargazer. If you look carefully at the albums and read the letters down from left to right, or from left up down, if you read the first letter of each song title, it always
there's
spells.
the real thing. I'm sorry. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, it always spells out the name of the record. So depending on the number of letters, the number of tunes, right, that make the final cut of the album is the number of letters, and then we come up with a word, right?
Yeah.
That, means something to us or is delightfully irreverent, right? Although, actually they're not terribly irreverent. The titles of the records are a little bit more meaningful, but the names of them are just like, we just spitball, man. It's just it's fun. It's like it's part of the improvisation. Right? Like, I don't know, like, what do we have, like, eating toilet paper in case of emergencies? This one is like, dude, we're just sitting there texting back and forth one afternoon, just like seeing how far we could go. Right?
I'm so sorry that I didn't play eating toilet paper in case of emergencies. It's just it's topical, it's clever, it's timely, and I love it. And I'm just sorry that I didn't play that song tonight.
But
you can listen to it on Spotify.
Right. If you look at that link right there.
That's
right
true. Boom. Look that up. All right. So you guys had a guest on one of these tunes, Anachronistic, which as I was giving it a listen, I thought for a split second, I was like, that's not Isaac. Is that Isaac? And I played that game with myself. I was like, there's no, and then after, I don't know, like a certain amount of bars, it just became obvious that had to be a real player. Will Early, the man himself. Will Early.
Yes.
My friend, Black Rock legend, great guy. How'd you guys hook up with him?
Oh man. Will is one of my first friends I ever made when I moved down here. He and I started teaching together 14 years ago when he was up in West Hartford with me. And the running joke has always been, because he then moved down to Black Rock and now he's doing the School of Rock thing and a countless amount of amazing projects.
Mm-hmm.
But he was doing like the band Hot Chaos for a while. And, that's when we would link up for shows more. And we'd always joked of like, we're going to start a band together. We're going to start a band together, man. We're going to do it. And the cards never line up. That's the kick. So this is my, our way of, bringing Will into this. And he also plays with Armad, which is the quartet that's Rob's brainchild. But yeah, like Will and I just go way back. He's just scary talented. It keeps me so much on my toes, man. And it's just like, it is exhilarating and scary as hell making music with him, because
he's so
it's
good.
like cliff diving every time. in the best way, because like you'll be like this far away from smash into the rocks, man, and then like a gust of wind picks you up and you keep going. It's just like it's power when we play with him.
And I met him through like the Relative Souls crew, like because
right, yeah, it was
taught
Swift
us-
and everything.
Such a good band.
yeah,
I forgot you played with them. That's right. Such a great band.
So I knew him through those guys because we used to rehearse at School of Rock, and I think he's still a teacher there.
He's like runs the School of Rock down there now.
Right on,
Probably.
That's awesome. But so I knew him from that, but I never heard him play. It was always through passing. It was just like, oh, it's Will. Like, what's up, man? Have a good night. And then we played a show at Bryac with No Mind,
yeah,
and
that's
he got on stage, and I was like, what the hell? Like selfie. And then like I mentioned something, I don't know if it was me or Cody mentioned something about his like jazz chops, and he told me, he's like, oh, like I never studied jazz. I like grew up listening to metal music, and I'm just like, I like this guy a lot. And then Isaac told me he knew him, and I was like, dude, you gotta get him to play with Armad. And he played with us, and he told me like he loved it but he hated it at the same time, and like it was just like weird, like hell yeah. Like, and he still plays with us, and like he always like picks up whenever we hit him up, and I fucking love that dude. Oops, sorry about that.
Oh no, you're fine. Wait, why? What'd you do?
Nothing.
We're on Facebook, man. You can say whatever you want.
No,
I said
dude.
way worse stuff than that. But I love you, Will.
FCC does not apply on here. You know what I find interesting though is that you said you guys both said you mentioned that Will said I loved it but I hated it, and Isaac, you were saying it's scary to play with the guy. The fear factor of just doing all improv stuff has to be so large. Is that what you guys are talking about when you're talking about like just, I mean, obviously I'm not going to ask you to put words in Will's mouth, but that sounds like the idea, right? It's just scary to play, to just because
and
no one has any idea where it's going to go.
Yeah. And he was just basically talking about like, just like not playing that type of music for so long because he plays with Hot Club at Black Rock, and that's Django tunes, it's all acoustic, and just to see him play an electric is like really refreshing. I feel like, I don't know, like
but I mean, I think it's the fear. Like fear has its place in music in a way that like it's not that the overtaking like raw primal emotion which like locks you up, but it's that sense of like impending something, right? Like that, like you feel it in your stomach.
It's
and
the
that,
anxiety,
like,
but we like the anxiety,
right? It's like healthy, right? It's not, again, it's like it's the compartmentalizing of that emotional being into your music, because that's what keeps the music pushing its boundaries. Because once there's apathy, right, then there is this, it's canned, right? And that's nothing against commercial bands. I worked in commercial bands where I had to play a show. It was a production, right? It was like a Broadway musical, essentially, where I was like, at this time, this hit's gonna happen, right? And there's like a very strict art form to that. But there's something that is so much more like, there's that bigger like release of dopamine, right? When it works, because you're really like, we go in with no plan, right? That's like, I don't know. I've never gone in with like, all right, I'm gonna play this idea tonight. Like the fact that we really go in with like a blank canvas and we haven't even like opened the paints yet, right? it's frightening, but it's awesome. I don't know. I love that. We get to do that with No Mind too. Like, there's structure and form, but every song just goes this way, that way. Like we just read the energy. So like, there's something that fuels me off of that element of music.
I love the fear involved in it. It's just like, I don't know. It's like, it's a rush to just go on stage and not know what you're going to play, if it's going to like sound like absolute crap or not.
Right.
Like,
does it work, right? Throw the spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then some nights you like think like something's really out there, like you don't really they end up with Picasso, Ricky. Yeah, exactly.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Right.
That's the goal, right?
That's the plan.
It all depends on how people value it, really. Like, I don't know. Like, if people dig it, they dig it, and that's awesome. But,
God, and I feel bad. So we are the show before mine is coming to a close, and the music is going to start playing, I think, in the next 3 minutes. So I don't want to pull people away from the musical experience, but I do before we wrap this up. Talk to me real quick just about God, I just love that conversation that you guys just had. I'm definitely going to be cutting that out and posting that as its own video. But talk to me so that people can listen to this music. And it's seriously, if you've never listened to this band before, please listen. And if you're watching this after the live broadcast, go look it up. Stargazer. It's on iTunes, Spotify right now. It's fantastic. Go in with an open mind, and it's going to blow your mind. It's fantastic. But talk to me about this last show and any other stuff you guys got coming up. Any last minute plugs before we get out of here and listen to music?
So we have a show coming up at an undisclosed location next Saturday. It's starting at 3. We're opening. PX3 is opening, and then No Mind's playing 2 sets afterwards.
Right.
We're playing till like sunset just thereafter. It's only $15. If you message PX3 on any social media or No Mind, we'll get you all the details and help show you how to buy tickets. It's at $15. Once you get a ticket, we give you the location of the show. It's very strictly distanced. Masks required, all that fun stuff. We have like hand sanitizing station, porta potty, all that fun stuff. Like you'll be comfortable, you'll be good. And then we just booked a show in Burlington, Vermont. So that's actually going to be our last show of the outside show of the year. Who knows? I'm trying to, optimistic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Fingers
And
crossed.
we're playing Orlando's on the 23rd. What time does that start, Rob? 7?
I think, music hits at 7.
Yeah, 7. We have possibly some very, very cool special guests. That show, if things line up, it's going to be wild way to end the outdoor season. So we recommend driving far. Come up to drive like 300 some odd miles with us and come hang out because
just 4.5 hours. It's 4.5 hours. It's not fine.
It's a couple books on tape.
That's a couple books. That's it. All right. This is God, I love you guys. I need to go to the show on Saturday. It's Isaac, it's Rob, it's PX3. Their new album Stargazer is out right now. Look for it on iTunes, Spotify. But if you can't do that right now, then just go listen to your radio, 95.9 FM if you live in Fairfield County, Connecticut. If you do not, go to this link down here, 959thefox.com. You can stream the whole thing. We have 3 songs by PX3 starting right now. Spaceman has started, and you've got 3 more. The one in the middle, Anachronistic, is featuring Will Early. Rob, Isaac, guys, thank you so much again for coming on.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, hang out for 1 sec after I end the live broadcast. For people watching, thank you for watching. You can check out the podcast at 959thefox.com as well. We'll check you next time.